Okay, for this video, I'm going to change the way that I approach drawing buildings and explain some of the basic processes that are going through my mind. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, I'm going to start with a pencil, which I normally don't do for practice sketches, but I want to use this pencil to help better visualize the technique that I'll be using here. And that is to break up your building into basic shapes. So the first thing that I'm going to sketch out is a large box that's going to represent the main structure of my building. And once I have that box complete, I'm just going to go around and add additional shapes that represent the other features of my building. For example, the overhang or awning on the front, or the bay window on the side. Now, this process is a little different than the buildings I've drawn in my other videos. Normally, I'll start with a primary line, such as the corner of a building, and then draw out my detail from there. Now, when I get to the windows on the front of the building, you will notice that I'm going to be drawing both windows as one single box. And then I'll use the lines to segment that box into those individual window shapes. And the reason I'm doing that is by drawing out both windows as a single shape, it helps me to keep everything into the same perspective and keep everything aligned better. It's just a little trick that I find easier to keep things in perspective. And if you're keeping track, my building is only made up of about 4 boxes and a few squares. Okay, I'm going to wrap up drawing all the secondary shapes on my building, and then I can move over into the inking stage. I am using a Micron 0.05mm pen, and this tip is a little thicker than what I normally would use, so I'm not planning on adding too much detail to this building. But my basic process here is just to go over all of the pencil lines with my pen, and I'm constantly referring back to my reference photo to see where I can introduce more detail. But what's nice about breaking up my building into multiple shapes first is that you tend to do a much better job establishing perspective. And then positioning your elements on top of that becomes much easier, and in my opinion, it makes it more fun to go back and draw in all that detail work. So, why do I like this method so much? Well, one of the biggest things that holds beginners back, in my opinion, is that they tend to draw out what they think they're seeing instead of what they're actually seeing. And then on top of that, when scenes get too complicated, it tends to reinforce the mindset of drawing what you think is there and not actually taking the time to sift through the details and capturing those accurately. In reality, complicated scenes are overwhelming to tackle, but by breaking them down into simple shapes, you can start with a framework first and ignore all of the detail. All of that fine detail will come later. This allows you not to get overwhelmed by all of the detail and instead only focus on the structure of your scene. And once you build out your basic shapes, you can then work inward toward that detail. Now, this is a great skill for beginners to master. Now, I chose this building specifically because it was so simple and geometric that I thought it would be a great starting video to demonstrate this technique. I am planning on doing several more videos like this in the future, so keep an eye out for those. For this building, we really only need to know one basic shape, and that's the cube or a box. And if you look close at the reference photo, this building is essentially made up of 3 or 4 boxes with a couple of additional squares drawn in. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about the process. Whenever I'm sketching a building, especially if it's a complicated one, I'm always thinking of working from big to small. And what I mean by that is I'm starting with the big general shapes first and then working down to the small shapes and small details. Complexity in your sketches doesn't come from drawing complicated things directly. It usually comes in from building up to that detail. Also, when looking at this building, I go through a process to try to determine what shapes make up the building. It's important to know that there is no right or wrong answer to this. You can visually break up that building into as many simple shapes as you need in any number of ways. And what I mean by that is that I drew this building with one big box as the starting shape. However, I could have easily have drawn this building as 3 simple boxes stacked on top of one another. By breaking it up into even more shapes, it essentially gives me additional guidelines that I can work off of. Okay, now I'm going to start adding all of the remaining detail to my building. And that just simply means that I'm going to be identifying the areas that I want to include as part of my sketch. This includes adding texture lines to the door and building, as well as finishing drawing out the windows on the front. Now, at this point, I do want to talk about the pen that I am using. I mentioned earlier that I'm working with the O5 Micron pen, which is going to be a slightly larger pen than the O3 or O2 that I normally use in my other videos where I'm using a Micron. The reason this is important to know is because I'm not going to be able to fit the same amount of detail into the sketch as I normally would, which means that I need to be very deliberate with how I add my line work so I don't make any one area feel too heavy or overcrowded with lines. Now, one trick I can use to create a slightly lighter look to my lines is by varying the pressure I put on the pen, which you can see me doing here as I draw the suggestion of these brick lines across the face of my building. Now, I am being very careful to keep that pressure extremely light so the pen is just barely grazing the surface of the paper. Which brings me to a great tip to learn for beginners. Learning to control your pen pressure is a great technique to develop, and one way to practice it is by making a bunch of hatch lines across a piece of paper, and then trying to vary the line weight so that each one gets lighter and lighter. Do that a couple of times so you can get used to varying your pen pressure. And then when you're comfortable with that, go back and do another set of hatch lines. But this time, you'll use consistent pressure throughout. You can do one set of your heaviest pressure, and then another set with your lightest pressure, and see how controlled, but more importantly, how consistent you can keep those lines. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about how I'm coloring the scene. I'm actually taking a very simple approach to keep within the theme of this video. And if you've noticed, I've already laid down a couple of shades of gray and beige colors to build up to a color that I think is something close to my reference photo. Now again, I'm not really trying to spend a lot of time coloring this building, but as I wrap up the color, I do notice that it feels a little flat and a little neutral. So what's going through my mind is I want to find a way to kind of make this building pop a little more, and that's simply to find pops of color that I can add. After I wrap up the trim and the door here, I'm going to move over and add a touch of green to the base of this building. This green color is going to give me a little bit of that pop that I'm looking for. But I'm not going to stop there. I'm actually going to go ahead and add a pop of color to the windows. Now, looking at the windows, I can see that there's a little bit of blue that comes out, and I'm going to lean into that and use my blue color to add a pop of blue to each window. Now, this is not exactly what I'm seeing in my reference photo. This is one of those artistic decisions that I have the liberty of making in order to make my building pop a little more. I'm going to use my shadow color. It's the Copic BV17 marker, and I'm just going to use this marker to color in all of the shadows that I'm seeing in my reference photo. Those are the shadows on the side of the building and under that main awning in the front. You'll also notice that I'll add a bit of shadow below the roof line and a little bit below each of the windows. And the reason for this is that it's just going to make those detail elements pop a little more. You'll also notice that I'm even adding a bit of that shadow into the greenery at the base of my building. Again, the idea is that it's just going to add that extra contrast and dimension to my sketch. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is add a little extra character to this building, and I'm going to go back to my pen and add an antenna coming from the top of the building. It's these small bits of detail that I think really can add some fun to your final image. And that's it. That's my final scene. I encourage you to go out and try drawing a building as simple shapes first before adding any detail for your next sketch. And if you already haven't, please give this video a like and subscribe, as I have more of these types of videos on the way.